The one-arm handstand is one of the coolest bodyweight skills, but learning it takes a lot of time, and it can feel pretty frustrating when the training is repetitive and the progress is so slow. However, it doesn't have to be that way. So today I want to introduce a different training approach for practicing one-arm handstands, which is called task-based learning. And in a nutshell, we want to include tasks or challenges into our training that allow us to maintain an external focus instead of just doing technical exercises where you place your focus internally on different body parts. And I think why this approach works is best explained with an analogy to other sports. For example, how do people actually become good at tennis? Some part of the training of becoming a good tennis player is spent purely on technical exercise, like how to hold a racket and how you should move it exactly for a given technique. And here, the focus is often placed internally. So you think precisely about what you are going to do with every part of your body to complete the movement as well as possible. And for one-arm handstand training, this would correspond to doing, for example, finger-assisted holds where you focus on perfect alignment, meaning that you focus on the correct placement of your joints in relation to each other. But another part of becoming a good tennis player is actually just playing. So you're using what you have learned so far to score points against the opposing team without spending any time thinking about the right movement of your body. Instead, your focus is placed on the external environment, like for example where you want the ball to land and so on. And just by playing many matches, you will improve over time. And as you probably noticed, I'm mentioning the direction of focus quite often here. So focusing externally versus focusing internally. And this is because the direction of focus has actually a big impact on the immediate performance and learning of motor skills. There's a whole field of science on this topic, and apparently an external focus is generally superior to an internal focus in terms of both movement effectiveness and efficiency. A possible explanation for this is given in this research review. Here the authors introduce an idea called the constrained action hypothesis, which states that an internal focus induces a conscious type of control, causing individuals to constrain their motor system by interfering with automatic control processes. Or in simplified terms, by internally focusing, you're basically overthinking your movements, and this can restrict your body's natural and intuitive ability to move. Let's come back to our handstand training. So how can we actually benefit from this knowledge in our task-based learning approach? Our goal is to integrate handstand tasks or challenges into our training that direct our attention outwards, meaning they give us an external focus point. And these challenges should train a specific aspect of our one-arm handstands, such as weight shifting or shoulder elevation. For example, we can challenge ourselves by doing block walks. Here the goal is to move from one side to the other while stepping on and off handstand blocks or other elevations. And we set out a goal to reach the other side or even just to step up on a block as an external focus point. So with this we have the implicit learning that we get by achieving the goal of the task and the improved performance and learning by making use of an external focus. And this is just one example. We can also get a bit creative with our handstand tasks. To give another example, we can use block stacking exercises where we start on the ground and try to stack several blocks on top of each other. And here we focus externally on the placement of blocks. We can also build some kind of handstand parkour with all the equipment we have, and then we can set the task to complete the parkour in, for example, a straddled handstand form. All of these tasks can help you to improve your one-arm handstands and make your training more fun and more efficient at the same time. But one thing that we should note here is that the movements in the tasks that we are doing align with some aspect of the one-arm handstand. For example, controlled side-to-side walks are great for training, as these directly train our weight shifting technique, while just rushing the exercise with bad and uncontrolled form or doing normal front walking will not really help us improve our balance here, as these movements don't really resemble anything in the one-arm handstand. To summarize, task-based learning can be a valuable addition to a one-arm handstand training. It can speed up our learning process by shifting our focus outwards, while at the same time being more fun than doing technical drills over and over again. That said, technical drills are of course still useful, so in my opinion it's best to include both in your handstand sessions. I hope this video could give you some new ideas for your training. Thanks for watching and